So we already had our event space at Enterprise Mill, and we had a storage unit next door that needed a little renovation, but we turned it to what is Fat Man's Cafe today. And then I was, blessed to have a son when he finished college come into the business. And so once he got in, he got comfortable with it. He went to culinary school and became an executive chef. We started to talk about expanding, and so then we opened SoSal, as folks know it, and then we had the opportunity to buy Snowcap, and we got that, and now we're about to open Bradley's Barbecue.
But after that, we intend to build a wedding venue right outside of Hammond's Ferry.
To keep a family business going beyond the third generation is difficult. You don't see that often, so we're there, and he's doing a great job of keeping the Fat Man's alive.
Daniel! A long history, starting with my grandfather. And it's absolutely just a privilege to be here now and to continue to grow.
We have a little treat. My sister was going through her attic and found a VHS tape, and it said Fat Man's 1950s. The Fat Man story begins with my grandfather, Darnell Usry, more affectionately known as Dumb John. In the early 1950s, my dad, known to friends and family as the Fat Man, and my mom, Miss Carolyn, a lot of you guys may have known her, purchased the grocery store from Dumb John and renamed it Fat Man's Corner. He wore blue jeans, overalls, and a hat. And while he didn't look like it, he was a marketing genius. He picked three bold colors, yellow, red, and green. He intentionally misspelled words like a country boy might do. He even created his own font for signs that we still use today. But tragedy was lurking around the corner. The Fat Man was diagnosed with cancer in early 1976. And he died in May of that year. And he knew what the business needed to be successful. So when he died, his dreams and plans didn't go to grave with him. My mom, the workhorse, kept pushing forward. My sister Jan and her husband Paul joined the team and gave Mom the strength to keep growing. In 1981, I graduated from Augusta College and went all in the family business. At our peak, we were bringing in 5 containers of artificial trees, garlands, and wreaths. We sold over 3,000 pumpkins, 2,000 live trees in a season. And of course, we would bring it to your house and set it up too.
The kids through the years who've grown up in Augusta, Georgia, all remember Fat Man's and going to them at Christmas time, and the smell of the boiled peanuts and riding on the train, seeing Santa Claus. He asked me to come down there and look at the buildings and to see, how he could expand, so to speak. And I went through all the buildings, and they had just added on and put a Band-Aid on here and added on, and I walked through it. I said, Brad, this thing, you might better blow it up rather than trying to add on to it.
The experience of the Fat Man's Forest was going from room to room to room, so you couldn't blow it up completely. So what we did is blew up all the old houses we had down the street and created a 12,000 foot, what people like to call a log cabin. And that was the start of the boom of our growth. And so in the late 80s, early 90s, we opened Cotton Row and Fat Man's Riverwalk. And as it grew and did well, we looked to Columbia County, and we thought we might do a smaller size Fat Man's, and we opened Fat Man's West. And my sister Ann, she took it over, and it did wonderfully well. As the Fat Man's enterprise grew in size and scope, my mom, Miss Carolyn, became a force in local politics. My mom got into public service right as I got into the business. And I'd like to think that gave her the comfort to leave the business to get into public service. Just watching her, I think influenced me. I didn't know it at the time, but she made a change in this city in a positive way, and I'm hoping I'm doing the same.
And one of the things that Brad and I talked about, and was very important, is that we can show that people from different backgrounds, different cultures could work together to do something great.
When we got to our first meeting, there was a policeman in the meeting, and I whispered to Cedric, I said, what is he doing here? So we asked the GM, why is the policeman here? He said, well, they had fights before. And we said, well, we won't need him anymore. We can handle this crowd.
And we both looked at each other and said, hey, we've got to do something about this. This thing is not going to last another 10 years.
The new arena project is a game changer for Augusta. Augusta needs an arena this size, number one. Number two, the experience the patrons will get at the new arena is far beyond whatever they experienced in the old arena. The tragedy struck again the week after Tiger Woods won his 4th green jacket. Our mom died suddenly. The family was rocked. The woman behind Fat Man's was gone. With Mom gone, we were forced to take a break, step back, and assess. That's why in 2007, we decided to close Fat Man's Forest and sell the property. We saw our dad's vision become a reality, but it was time to move into a different direction. But as we were doing that, I was too young to retire, and so I decided the food service part of the business, our little restaurant, was something that I could put my arms around and take it to another level. I mean, that's one of the things I'm proudest of, that we don't have turnover with employees, and it makes running a business a whole lot easier when you got the same folks working for you. Thank goodness Havard came into the business and decided to expand. It's been a fun ride with him.
I was like, it can't be for delivery. If you want to come pick it up, we can.
So from my dad, I've learned, I mean, the list goes on and on and on, but truly just how to be kind to people and how to serve the community.
I learned generosity from my dad. You know, he gave and gave and gave to folks, and I'm the same way, and I get it honestly, and I take that with pride. When you're recognized by a group like Junior Achievement, it makes you think of your family and what they've done for your success. And I think of my wife, you know, every day pushing me. She's a trainer, so she's tried to keep me in shape and give me my right vitamins. So I'm thankful for her support. My youngest boy, Hodges, who's not in the business, he's a filmmaker. He's always a cheerleader for old Dad. My sister Ann, my sister Jan, my brother Horace, they all were in the business at one point or another, and it makes me proud, but it's not just for me. It's for my employees, for my family.
Brad Usry is a laureate in the Junior Achievement Business Hall of Fame.